So to get going on this video, we will have to choose Start, All Programs, go to the Microsoft Office, and choose Microsoft Office Excel, and that'll bring this up. You weren't able to see that. I had it on another screen, but hopefully you've already learned how to get into Excel, and we'll go from here. To start off, let's go ahead and title this Retirement Savings Calculator. This will be prepared by Kevin Kimball. Prepared on, and I'll just type equals today. Purpose: to compute the future value of a retirement savings account based on key income figures as well as contribution and earnings rates as input by the user. Now we'll have a data section starting in row 6 here. We'll leave a lot of the formatting to the end. Here in cell B8, type today's date. We'll have a current age, retirement age, annual salary, anticipated annual salary increase, annual employee contribution percentage, annual employer contribution percentage, expected return rate, and the original investment balance. Now I'm going to show you a quick way to name these cells, and I'm going to put them right next to, I'm going to put them in cell C8, and then what I'll do is I'll cut them and paste them over to E in a moment. But I'm going to use the Define Name feature. If you look up here under Formulas, Define Name, and I choose the drop down and choose Define Name, you'll notice that it guesses what you'd like that name to be. As you can see, it got rid of the apostrophe and put an underscore, and it got rid of the space and put an underscore. In other words, when you're defining names, you cannot have spaces. And you can see this has an absolute reference to cell C8. And I hit OK. So that's one way to name this cell directly adjacent to the title. If I went over here, let's say in E9, and tried to do Define Name, it wouldn't know what you think the name should be because there's no title directly next to it. So I'm going to name all these just right next to it, and then I'll move them later. So I define name, and I like that name, and I hit enter. Hit Define Name. I like the suggested name. Hit enter. So I'm just moving down one, and I'm accepting. The other way you could do it, especially since these are going to be long names, I would recommend maybe you just go up here into the name box and then you type anticipated annual salary increase. Otherwise that would have really been quite a long name, although it is still long. It's at least shorter. This one, let's get up in the name box, type EE, standing for employee contribution percent, and then we'll go down to the next one, ER contribution percent. Now this next one, maybe I'll use Define Name again, and I like the name that it comes up with, and I'll hit enter. Next one, maybe I want to shorten this, and so I'll use the name box, Orig Invest Balance. So what I did is I named all these ranges, and what I can do is I can now put my cursor in C8, hold the Shift button down, and highlight all those cells that I just named. And this time I'm going to use the move button, not the copy. And the move button is Control X. Control X. Or if you're up in home, you could cut. Control X and cut are the same thing. When you use Control X, these references, cell references, remain the same. So Control X, move over to column E because I want a little space between these titles and the names. And that just saved me a little bit of time. And as you can see, test it out. Go into cell E8, you should see that the range names came with them. So all those seem to be good. So main purpose that we just completed right now is naming all of these cells.